Here's everything that's included. You get the Spectrum SLT3 radio, the owner's manual, a sticker sheet, which I always love. You get some spare body posts, a high-speed pinion gear. You also get some shims for the diffs. This is new for the V5 models. And right out of the box, I'm gonna stick one of these in both the front and rear diffs of this truck on the ring gear side. Then you have your ARRMA warranty information, L wrenches, and then your cross wrench for the wheels. You get a bunch of spare shock pistons if you wanna do some shock tuning. And then you get a battery and gearing chart as always. And then of course you get the ARRMA Notorious. This is actually gonna be replacing my 2019 ARRMA Outcast. The truck is in pretty rough shape now. In order to get the thing back up to 100%, I would need to stick a couple $100s in it. Instead of doing that, I figured why not stick the money into a brand new truck. I absolutely love the blue body. What's cool about this is it has the real steel effect, which as you roll the truck over and start to scrape the blue off, there's actually silver that shows underneath. I'm not gonna go super in depth into all of the V5 upgrades on this vehicle because I actually did that in another video where I unboxed the ARRMA Creighton V5. Get the body off of this thing. Briefly, here's a few of the changes that they made to the V5 lineup. They beefed up the A-arms on this truck. They have all new electronics. Then they have a brand new chassis, and it's noticeable in the rear where they have these supports. Makes it a lot more rigid, keeps it from bending. There's also some nice changes like a larger receiver box. You have some new suspension geometry in the rear. You have, of course, the new A-arms, like I said, which are beefier. Those will work with the new rear shock tower. And there's a bunch of small stuff that they've changed, like the C&D blocks have some new hinge pin braces that should be stronger. Just a lot of stuff like that you can check out in the Creighton video once again. Now I'm gonna go through and make some more changes to this truck. I'm gonna carry a few parts over from my 2019 ARRMA Outcast. Just some parts like a Voltage Hobbies servo mount just to make the steering setup a little bit more rigid. And then in that servo mount, I'm gonna throw a Savox SW1210 SG servo. I'll take you guys along throughout all of that. I just wanted to do a brief overview before we get into it. Alright guys, so I drilled a hole in the wire management clip and just looped a zip tie through to keep all the motor and ESC wires in. I also dropped in the aluminum Voltage Hobbies servo mount and then the Savox SW1210 SG servo. So I'm going to chop off these two IC5 connectors and solder on a single XT90 just to simplify the wiring a bit since I'm only going to be running one battery. And then we can go ahead and shim the diffs as well. So those are the next two projects, and then I can finally fire up the truck, center the servo after binding the receiver to the transmitter, and then we should be good to go for the first run. Really quick, I think we should admire how much grease ARRMA stuck on these diffs. I mean, if you look at the diff itself, all over the outside, this would be enough, but look how much is in there. There's a ton. So I don't think anyone could ever complain to ARRMA anymore that there's not enough grease on their diffs. That's really all I wanted to say. On with the montage, I guess. This is the battery pack I'm going to be running. It's a 6S 5000 milliamp hard case LiPo from Power Hobby. So this battery, along with pretty much all the other items in this video used, you can find in the description of this video if you guys are interested. So I'm going to get the battery plugged in, and then I'm actually going to bind the SR315 receiver to my new Spectrum DX5 Rugged. I've been trying to convert all my vehicles over to this radio just so I have them all in one spot. So I'm going to use this radio instead of the stock Spectrum SLT3. Then we can center the steering servo so I can attach the servo horn. The ARRMA Notorious is ready to go. We have a parking lot all to ourselves, so we're going to take advantage of this space, run a few quick test passes back and forth, maybe put some ramps out and jump the truck a few times and just test to see how this thing handles. quick. Just gonna test the range quick. I had some issues with the receiver that came in my ARRMA V5, so looks like everything's good with this Notorious receiver, which is awesome. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and get ready to see more videos with this ARRMA Notorious. See you next time.